liberty, that is servitude. Okay, that is a degradation kink. You are offering up your services as a sub. And go with your move. Live your life. I don't kink shame over here, okay? But you don't get to project that onto the rest of us and chastise us because we don't want to participate in that particular power dynamic. Here's the thing. Solidarity is absolutely important. Yes, struggles globally are interwoven, and there's a lot to be gained from us fighting together. However, comma, we must at all times insist upon our humanity, especially because our anti-blackness is global, especially because folks worldwide have been conditioned and indoctrinated to not view and treat us as human beings, but to treat us as sites of labor and sites of extraction and sites of production. So we have to employ some sense of transaction in order to retrain folks to engage with us as human beings. Now, I don't know what kind of trash pandas is in your bloodline that would possess you to get online and say some crazy shit like that with your whole chest, but I implore you, if you got some elders, if you got some whatever, go get in community with them, because coming over here and saying some shit like that is wild, okay? Wild. Like, again, solidarity is important, but our self-respect and our dignity as human beings is more important than solidarity. I'm just going, yeah, that's more important to me. So here's the thing, it's not really even a matter of sitting it out, right? Because there is a way that I do believe that the fight is in fact ours, because it's another articulation of what we've been going through. That's one of the reasons why I get so annoyed at the way that folks frame their chastisement into predicting a future for us that is actually our past. Everything that they are doing to people right now, we have been screaming and warning people about, because this is another articulation of what's been going on in the prison industrial complex. It's just another articulation of that. So it's our fight in the sense that it is that. However, what it is a matter of to me is understanding and believing that we've tried this shit before. And we have to ask, did it work? And does it make sense for the current opponent? Should we be looking at trying to figure out a new strategy? Even if we're using some of the same tactics, should we be using the same tactics in exactly the same way? And the thing about it is, because of the way people have learned these kind of tactics of resistance and things like that through Western knowledge production, they've been taught echoes of the shit and not the actual factual way that things went down on the ground, because a lot of folks are not really in community with folks who are kind of actually doing the things. In some ways, that's because of mass incarceration. That's because of, the AIDS epidemic. That's because of the crack epidemic. That's because of, actions predicated by three-letter organizations to actively assassinate folks. There's a lot of different reasons why generational ties that would provide institutional knowledge have been severed. That said, there are still ways to connect and do things that just make sense. And a lot of the shit that people are talking right now just don't make sense. So, for me, it's more a matter of, if we've done things that way, and the state is very familiar with those tactics, in fact, they're familiar enough with those tactics that they have taught them back to you in a degraded, echoed form, then maybe it's time to, shift our direction, shift our thinking, shift our strategies. That's what I'm on, okay? That's the shit that I'm on, because simply kind of going there and performing this type of martyrdom where we climb up on the cross and die for everybody's sins, it don't work for me. Okay? That does not work for me, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to advocate for that. And it's ironic because most of the people who are advocating for that would probably think that they have deconstructed from Christianity and things like that, but they've done nothing but ingested it, and now they're regurgitating it back to us in another form. And I'm not interested. I'm not interested at all. So it's not a matter of not doing anything, because there are people doing other things. Again, the people that I know that are about their work never stop doing work. They are just doing different work, right? It's about doing different work. And also believe in a motherfucker. When a motherfucker got you fucked up, or when a person cannot see you in your humanity, y'all need to really, really learn to understand and sit in the duality of a situation. We may have the same oppressor, okay? We may have the same op, but that does not necessarily mean that we're on the same side. And y'all better know the difference. Because you have to organize and strategize accordingly. Sometimes we're absolutely in solidarity on the same side. Sometimes, this is more of a conditional or contextual alliance that makes sense for the moment. And low key, neither are necessarily bad, right? It's not necessarily bad to say, okay, this is where we align, this is where we can work together, this is where we don't align, so you got that. That's not a bad thing. Like, y'all talk about transaction in a certain type of way that lets me know that y'all have not reckoned with the way that capitalism truly has twisted you up and convinced you that concepts that existed well before well before capitalism came on the scene with this particular brand of exploitation are somehow intrinsically tied to it when it's not. Okay? Transaction is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay? It's not necessarily an exploitative thing. Especially in a situation where there are people who do not know how to treat you because they've been trained by the state to not know how to treat you. So you've got to train them how to treat you. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Again, it's not necessarily a matter of sitting it out, but it is a matter of moving to a different strategy.
I have a slightly hot take that's probably already been said, but they don't want to give black people reparations because they know that if we receive reparations, we would leave. A lot of us want to leave, and the big reason why we don't leave is because we have no means to leave. We don't have the money to live somewhere else. We're barely living here. So, they know. Also, they're fucking cruel and just disgusting, but they know if they gave us reparations, we would leave, and they would have nobody to oppress. They would have nobody to do whatever the fuck they want to do to. And they keep talking about birthright citizenship, and they got their way with the Supreme Court. We all know that, but they do know that it applies to them mostly. I don't think it matters because, in the back of their minds, they probably do understand that it applies to them, but they don't think that the rules apply to them ever. Anyway, but if you start rounding up black people because for whatever reasons you decide that we're not citizens, where are you deporting us to? Although let's not kid ourselves, we know that it's not about deportation. It's about kidnapping. It's about doing the same thing that they did hundreds of years ago. If they figure out a way to do it, they probably will. But again, that's why we'll never get reparations, period. Under any administration. Never. They don't want us to leave. They want us here.
Hey, TikTok, so once again, I'm going to go on my little rant about Latinos getting upset with black people. And again, I just finished my podcast, Friendly Differences. Check it out on YouTube. And I just have to, shake my head because so many things have
bust y'all bubble real quick, cause I'm about to make you fucking mad. Y'all know I do that all day. Love making motherfuckers mad. But why is it that for us, the people that were going through all of that shit in our family, it's only our grandparents and our great-grandparents? I made a video about this already. We were still kissing on slaves, hugging slaves, loving on them, and we were doing all of that. So we heard the stories of what y'all grandparents did. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you didn't think it was just your grandparents because y'all keep looking in terms of years. And it was hundreds of years ago, baby. No, let's stop that. No, it was your grandparents and your great-grandparents. Go and ask them. They're not telling you. Black people, they tell us every motherfucking thing. They tell us what done went down, what didn't go down, and they told us every motherfucking thing. Okay, and then it was a lot of our great-grandparents and grandparents that didn't want to talk. They didn't want to talk about what they went through because it was so damn traumatic. Okay? So, if y'all want to keep saying, oh, that's not our fault, okay, well tell your grandparents and your great-grandparents I said come the fuck here. How about that? Because it's not your fault, but it's their fault. And y'all don't hear them stories. And y'all can't hear them stories. Because y'all acting like none of them exist today. That's fucking crazy. They might be in a nursing home right now. But y'all have to understand that was y'all grandparents and great-grandparents. They're not gonna tell y'all. And don't even ask. They're not gonna tell y'all. They're not. I'm sorry. Like, they're not gonna tell y'all the Cold War truth. They don't want y'all to really believe anything they done. You think y'all grandpa want y'all to know he was over there doing nasty shit with our men? No, they don't. They don't. We're not going to tell y'all. So that's why we keep bringing it up and y'all don't, because y'all don't know y'all history. Y'all grandparents and great-grandparents ain't telling y'all shit. That's the difference. That's why y'all so fucking confused. That's why we all on different timelines right now. Y'all over here with the, oh, we don't owe y'all nothing, but we over here like, I mean, y'all kind of owe us everything. Y'all burnt all of y'all grandparents and great-grandparents burnt all our shit down. Like, are you fucking kidding? It didn't build shit on top. Lake Lanier. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That should tell you enough. Like, I shouldn't even have to go in the motherfucking story of Lake Lanier. But if you want to know, just comment down below. I'll make another video about Lake Lanier. But come on. So that's why we want reparations. Because the original ones that wanted reparations are not alive today. So we're carrying their shit on. What are you talking about? We talked to these people. We looked at these people. We were raised by these people. And so y'all, white people, go ask y'all grandparents and great-grandparents some questions and let's see what the fuck they say. Because I want to know what they answer is. But who the fuck lying to y'all? Because ain't shit happened to y'all yet, so of course y'all ain't gonna understand. Nothing has happened to y'all yet. So you just wouldn't understand at all. So let's get all that shit together. We all need to figure this shit out today and figure it out fast. Now, let me touch on some shit y'all probably gonna say. Okay? Because first it starts with, we didn't burn anything down. We didn't take none of y'all shit. Why y'all trying to make us pay reparations? How the hell, all of that shit goes into a fucking will or goes through probate and is passed down to fucking children? Yeah, the shit got passed down to y'all. I don't know what the fuck you want us to do. Okay? We had hospitals and houses and banks and shit to pass down to our family. Y'all people burn that down. Your grandparents and great-grandparents. Okay? So we could not probate none of that. They probated that shit to y'all. And I'm not speaking on all white people. Because not all white people. Grandparents and great-grandparents did the right shit. What? Like, come on now. Stop. Let's not even go there. Dude, we gonna set this up like probate in a motherfucking wheel. Because today, y'all got hella shit being passed down to y'all fucking family generations. We don't have shit. So, what did I say they do? What did I say they did to our shit? Yeah, that's why we have nothing to pass down. And y'all sitting here telling us not to complain about that. Do y'all, when people go around rioting Y'all are the first in the comments talking about, why would you destroy your own city? Well, why the fuck would you destroy somebody else? Like, you know what? Like, y'all, and that's where they keep trying to explain.
My bad, I'm back in the house, y'all. But let me tell y'all, it was not all of them. It was not all of them. I'm not going to put it on everybody, okay? Because there were some that were really good. It was just the bad ones did some bad shit, okay? But not for real. Like, white people, go ask y'all grandparents and great-grandparents questions. Ask them what their history was. Because y'all wanna keep learning in books and shit in school. That's not going to tell y'all nothing. Listen to the people experience and stuff like that. When an elder person is telling you some shit, believe it. Because, listen. But go ask. Because my great-grandmother, she was what? She was in full-blown segregation, I think. But I know my great-grandma. What are you talking about? Every time I got in trouble, I ran to this lady like, motherfucking, man, I was dumb. As soon as I heard my name and I knew it was like, bitch, you ain't catching me, I'm going to my grandma. That means she be over there like, don't you put your hands on this baby. I'm like, yeah, don't put your hands on this damn baby. Like, what is you talking about? So y'all gotta understand, we know these people. We've heard these stories. I don't think y'all are being told with the shit that we've heard. Like, I don't think y'all are understanding that part. But, yeah, it was not that long ago. Like, let's please stop that. I don't know who the fuck came up with that shit, or if they used 400 years ago to confuse y'all with school when they started putting numbers to it and shit. But nah, we going generation by generation, baby. This ain't that. Motherfuckers live a long time. Okay? So, yeah. Go start asking questions. Shit, I'm about to walk up in these nursing homes and start asking questions. Like, but y'all gotta understand, like, y'all, there's shit that y'all don't see. There's people that went through full-blown segregation in the lab today. They probably in a motherfucking nursing home. But that's still somebody's fucking family. Y'all don't understand. We still saw and felt these fucking people. I'm not sure how you love on your family, but we love on ours hard. So yeah, we want all our shit back. That's just it. We just want all our shit back. Just give it back. Y'all don't have to do shit with it. Just give it back to us and we cook.
So in this video, literally you are seeing the Black Americans, they're saying they deserve to get reparations, which is true, because for the longest time, according to the history of America, we all know what happened to the Black American, the black folks. During slavery time, Black Americans, they were slaves. They were being held as slaves, and they used to work in those plantations. And during that time, they were literally, doing heartbreaking, difficult work, working those plantations, being beaten, and of course, seeing their kins being sold off as slaves. And it went on for a couple of hundreds of years. By the time the abolition of slaves came in through, it was around from 12th century to 18th century. That's a long process, so it took such a long time before slavery was abolished. And once slavery was abolished, of course, Black Americans were given freedom, and they were embraced as American citizens, and they were just told, okay, so now you're no longer slaves, you're free, you're an American citizen, and they're told, okay, continue with your life. That's the reason why you have generation of Black Americans who are literally living in poverty, because for the longest time there is systematic obstacles to literally make the Black American community, to live in poverty. For example, for a Black American to get loans, usually they have to jump in hurdles left, right, and center in order to be able to qualify to get a loan, as compared to a white person. To get a job, a Black community, or should I say a Black American, or should I say a Black person, needs to work to be qualified like 3-4 times what a white person is qualified. So for a Black person to get a good job, you have to work 3 times, or even 4 times, or even 5 times harder than the white person who is getting the same job. To get a promotion for a Black person or Black American person, they have to work 10 times harder as compared to a white person. Walking or driving as a Black person, you can literally be caught, or you can literally be stopped just for being a Black person driving, even when you're not doing anything wrong. as compared to a white person. So America literally has put obstacles in place for a white person to be able to become successful in America. That's the reason why you're seeing there's so much poverty among the black community. When the black American community came up with the Wall Street among the black community during the time of segregation, yeah, where each race were given their own lane, the kind of school you need to go depending on your race, the kind of jobs you need to do depending on your race, where you're going to live depending on your race, the types of the types of education you need to get depending on your race. That time, so the black community literally came up with their own neighborhood, they came up with their own businesses, and they were thriving, and they were literally prospering, and they're becoming rich. And one day, one time, the black community Wall Street in America, it got burned down. The banks, the business, everything was burnt down. That was a message being sent by the white people. You know, you're not supposed, know your place. You're not supposed to go above certain level. And for the longest time, the black community fought. They fought literally. You see right now the way they're thriving in sports, the way they are thriving in entertainment. Those are the kind of jobs that they were allowed, and people knew those are the types of jobs for the black community, for the black Americans. If you look at the NBA, if you look at the NHL draft, American football, you see black Americans, succeeding, thriving. Those are the types of jobs that, they were meant for black people, and they thrive. And that's one thing, when the black community were given this opportunity, they thrive on it, and they became successful in it. And they made a lot of money for the white owners who own those teams. And right now you're seeing black taking it, embracing, and or having ownership on businesses, buying this sports team. They want to own something. They want to to become owners rather than employees in a business. We are seeing black community, black Americans, black people literally owning businesses, because they realize, what, for us to thrive, for us to become successful, you need to become owners and not just remain as employees, which for the longest time the black community has been doing that. The black Americans have been doing that. Let me know what you think about this video. And of course, I know people, other races, they say black Americans or black communities should not get reparation, but what they don't know is the history of America is the history. The foundation of America was built on the backs of the black people, on the black American. And yes, do they deserve reparation? Yes, but will they get reparation? Only time will tell. Let me know what you think about this video, and please subscribe to my channel.